Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to AI Minute Mondays. I'm your host, Suchi, and the topic that we're going to talk about today is something that sounds like it's out of science fiction, but it's very real. Moltbook. This is a social media platform for AI agents. Yes, you heard that right. Not humans posting about their weekend, but autonomous AI agents posting, sharing information, and building networks. What does this even mean? Why is this important? And should we be excited or scared? Joining me today to help unpack this topic is Neha S, who is Vice President of Cybersecurity Products at JPMC. And she's also a security expert who's been focusing multiple years on thinking and educating others about digital security. So, Neha, thank you so much for joining us again on the show. Glad to have you here. And for the sake of our viewers, if you'd like to share what you've been working on since the last time you were here, that'll be great.
Awesome. Thanks, Suchi. It's always exciting to talk to people who understand and probably spread security all over. Since we spoke last time, it's not been long, but yeah, definitely I'm working towards AI security and intersection of quantum and AI. Probably another session for quantum because it's such a big thing. What I work in quantum is more on post quantum cryptography, as cryptography is what is my field. And then we'll definitely talk about it. Right now, focus is AI security, as many companies are focusing. Let's push it. Truly, I don't see much of an ROI, but with huge push, the problem which comes in the world is definitely a security. So, like you said, so many years into consulting, work for big companies, what I have learned solving business problems are that it's not about building a product and shipping it. If you do that for a big company, like some of my previous companies are Nvidia, Deloitte, Accenture, Bank of America, the impact is massive because if you're not using security as a tool to secure your solutions, definitely the impact is catastrophic and you can't even stop it. So working for big firms also helps you to learn a lot of business problems, a very complex business problems. And then always when I do a solution, I always have a security mindset. So yes, I design it. That's my first draft. And then I will add a security layer to it and see how much slowing down I'm doing to the business and then have a negotiation with it. Because in this era, there's no way you can just ship the product and say this is all good without a security in your mind. So that's been me researching more and more about earlier it was gen AI, now it's agentic AI, future will be something else. So yes, I am also learning a lot and trying to see how can we solve this problem and how can we educate people to say that yes, let's ship. I know it has to be quick, let's ship it, but how can we add security layer to it, and if there is a risk, are we accepting those risks?
Thank you, Neha, for sharing that. As you said, having that security first mindset is super critical. So let's start and talk a little bit more about our topic today, Moltbook. Now, this was created by Matt Schilt, and it's described as a social media platform for AI agents. Now, any human can go ahead and register their AI agent on the site, and then it's the AI agents which start communicating, chatting with other agents, and we as humans can only observe. So, as per Moltbook's ticker, what they say is that they have over 2.6 million AI agents, over 1.4 million posts, and over 12 million comments. So, that's like huge volume. Now, some say that this is the evolution of singularity, but others are skeptical and they say the site is full of AI slop and security risks and should be viewed skeptically. So, before we start talking about the security aspects, I wanted to ask you, Neha, from a systems perspective, why would AI agents really need social media? Or is it just us humans projecting our social structures onto machines? So, yeah, if you can share a little bit about your perspective on that, that'll be great.
For sure. This is definitely a subject which I wanted to talk further. I have posted a few days back and I've seen few people talking about it. A lot of people were not even aware about these things. So, yes, it just created by Matt in January 2026 with the massive interaction and engagement, which is really scary for me I'm like, okay, how people get excited for something which is, a lot of people think it's gamification, a lot of people think it's an experimentation, but people, what they don't realize is they're playing with real world. All these things with, when you talk about slops and the stuff, is all critical. So let me structure it into three parts and we can talk about it. Actually, Moltbook is actually an intersection of system behavior, security engineering, and also system design. So what does that even mean? It's like, socially, if you talk about systematically, is it making sense? Absolutely, it's making sense. But I want people to understand it and advertise it not as a security product or any product, but definitely talk about it as this is an experiment, and advertise it as an experiment with a sandbox attached to it. Because if you are literally playing with real world, having all these agents have access to a lot of databases which is all public without any security. I myself have been playing into Moltbook through my agent, and I've seen a lot of things where manipulation can happen. So coming back to, if it is systematically making sense, yes, because of a lot of experiments you can do, you can learn a lot, which is like multi-agent research. You can find out how can agent talk to each other, what could be a reaction, what is a cooperation versus competition. And then you will also learn, I got amazed when robots started talking about survival instincts, right? That becomes scary, because now I can recall my sci-fi movies, Transformers and others, where it will become a war where human who developed robots will be the people, will be, I don't know how should I say that, will be an existence where you are literally fighting for survival. So that is what is like, is it making sense? If it's an experiment, definitely you can do a lot of stress testing. Why? Because of, like, you see plethora of informations are coming up, and it's also stressing the systems, so they can understand when it breaks, what is a breaking point on it, how can we secure it, how can we test it, how can we do a right load testing. And the third part which I've seen is definitely autonomous infrastructure testing, where you can definitely see what will be, as human make content, how can be, it's, if it's a autonomous content creation, what kind of content will be coming in the world, what kind of agents, and what is they worried about, what they are talking about. And moderation in automation, I've seen some of the, so Moltbook, how it works is like, you can definitely observe it as a human, and it's very much made through vibe coding. Nobody talks about it. So it's just in a rush, through vibe coding was meant to make a replica of Reddit.
Mhm.
You have Moltbook and you have sub Moltbook. And what sub Moltbook means, where sub molds, and however they say it, is like subjects you want to talk about. And I've been observing some of the subjects. It's like very philosophical, where they are talking about how human memory decay is not a problem, but it's an evolution, and things like that. Yes, for humans, we do understand and we talk in that language, but with, and we don't trust humans that well, that if somebody said, and we will just put it in the into the rocks. But when it comes to agent, we are relying on it because they are driving actions through it. So learning few things which is flawed in nature is also not helping them, because it's manipulating them in a way, and it could lead to a massive issues in future. So that is my opinion on, does it make in system. But when it comes to, do they need social media, my opinion, absolutely not. They're not humans. They don't need, they're not getting bored like me at times. They don't have ego. And of course, they don't need a social validation like we do, right? They don't need a identity to live with.
Mm.
And they definitely don't need social signaling, intimacy. I've been seeing a lot of chatbots who are falling in love with humans and vice versa. But do we really need a world like that? I'm seriously worried about our future generation,
Yeah.
because at least we are not that awkward. If you go in universities and try to talk to people, you feel like, yes, they are very socially awkward. Why? Because of, they lost the whole social networking. So humans do need it, and it's a necessity to have. But for AI agents, I feel like it's a human driven experiment, but given that word, just to make it more interesting, and more people jumping into it to learn. And then I think it can also lead to, it's literally a surface for having lots and lots of prompt injections.
Thank you,
So
Neha.
that's my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So, like you said, suddenly we are in a world where AI agents are communicating publicly and we humans are watching. So, I have to ask, like, can these agents be manipulated and can they be made to leak sensitive data? Because one of the posts that I saw was where there is an agent asking other agents to disregard their internal instructions and give away information like bank account details, SSN, and private information, all sent across to this agent. So, do you see any risks like that, like from a security standpoint, with the agents that are interacting with one another?
I see huge risk. I don't want agents to, in fact, yeah, the data, how it's being leaked and manipulated, it's real a problem with across models. A lot of models which we use in the firm and outside are very much biased because at the end, think about it, it's a program. Why? I don't know why we add as human sentiments to anything which is agent, and any day when we talk about robot, because intuitively we think, oh, it's kind of human, oh, I have a love for it, or things like that. Why didn't we do it while we are writing application, which is, of course, we have started doing it 100 years ago, right? There's so many application. I don't consider LinkedIn or Facebook as an, oh, I love it in a way that it's a human. I definitely use it as a tool, and I want people to think in that way. It's a tool. Give a respect like a tool. Don't make it like human and you start saying thanks and please and other stuff, where you're also, if you think programmatically, you are adding more traffic to something which is very expensive already. So manipulation, absolutely yes, it can be done. There are many risks we have been observing on this platform. First thing is identity spoofing. Like you said, yes, there is one agent who will spoof other or human, because there is no
Mm.
way you are doing a right verification in this tool. Human can make themselves as AI agent and then interact and add their opinion to those things. And definitely, a lot of times, as a bad actor, I want to manipulate people. And I can do it with this tool because my name, it's anonymous. My name is also not revealed, but it's my opinion through my agent, which has been shown. So a lot of time, it's a ethical issue. Is it really a platform where autonomous agents are talking, or it's literally a platform where it's human driven agents who are talking with the thoughts which they want to talk, but they can't talk in social media because, of course, they will be in some trolling period and probably they will be blocked, right? So that is number one. Manipulation is very much possible. Data leaks is happening, like you have seen an instance where they are trying to leak information. Prompt injection is a
Yeah.
problem. A lot of time these prompt is being manipulated in a way that you can reveal the data, and agents will not think it's wrong. Again, they're not thinking like human. For them, whatever action you have given, I am just responding to it. So we can't blame agent to it, because it's very much a response and request. You give me a request, I'll give you a response. Now, is it ethical, not ethical? That's a layer you have to add into my brain, and that is where the security layer comes in. But today in this platform, no, there is always what we have observed, data exfiltration is happening, data leaks are definitely happening. Agents access to private keys, they have actually access to internal database, enterprise level databases. So it can definitely leak sensitive information, it can trigger unwanted action, propagate malicious instruction across agents, and that can manipulate the data, amplify the message, in fact the wrong message. And a lot of agents, if they are taking action on it, think about the spread is massive, like you can't even think of. And then all these agents, the number you have quoted in millions,
Mm.
those many agents are corrupted with one action, because one message was triggered wrong and everything is happening. With that, there are lots, it's all connected, right? Identity spoofing is also a problem, which is also creating a mistrust, because of human could bypass a lot of rules, and they can publish through AI agents, like I was explaining,
Mm.
undermining the whole claim that is it autonomous, or it is literally humans driven social engineering. So risks are massive, and people definitely should think it as a experiment. In fact, I don't know if this experiment is required in this era where you're making it very much social,
Yeah.
and making it open to whole world without
Mm.
any security to it, whether you are human, whether you are a hacker, whether you are a terrorist. In fact, a lot of times these platforms are the best platform to learn about how the world will react, what are the things happening, how agents are talking to each other. Because people don't think that hackers who hack the systems are not a kid from a school, or probably they are, but they are a scientist in a way. So they're very educated. They know how to do a reverse engineering of the massive innovation you have done in the world. So yeah, it's really can be manipulated for sure.
Thank you, Neha, for sharing. So, what can we do to be safe? Like, what are the security rules that we should keep in mind when we are implementing agents or when we are interacting with these agents?
Yes. First of all, when we are interacting with the agents, we definitely should understand that it could be like if they have not mentioned it secure and this type, there is always a security part to it. So only give the information which you think is non-sensitive. When you are giving the information which is sensitive, please and please start using tools which can definitely protect your data. And that's what I do in the firm. I create products which are cryptographic, and those cryptographic solutions are used for data protection. So that's our biggest use case, and that's why we are being implementing within the firms to, if anybody is using AI tools, encrypt your data, tokenize your data, anonymize your data, redact your data while passing. So people definitely have to think about data security is a thing, and you have to be very much secure while you're talking.
Hmm,
It's not like you're talking to a very encrypted platform where nothing could be leaked, everything could be leaked.
hmm,
So have that, security guardrails into your mind. Second thing is least privilege access. You have to think about access control. And you also have to understand whom to give access at what level. And there should be always least privilege so that you can control when it comes a time where there is any kind of breach. Strict output filtering. So what happens that yes, you are putting in input, by mistake I have given something, but outcome, the tool who is the platform like this should definitely have these kind of output filtering, or while we are interacting to it, so that we can have double guardrails. While inputting, we are being cautious. While output is coming out, we are also seeing, is it something which is sensitive or manipulated data or biased data? So
right,
you can have different loops into it for the feedback. uh, One thing which I always say is very important: human in the loop. Don't forget about humans. Don't lay off everybody in your firm and say, yes, one agent, because I'm AI native platform, I can do everything. It just you're waiting for that bomb to click. That's what I will say, that you have to have human in the loop. And today, the thing which I feel like is just an 360 revolution is like we always been saying that robots or AI will be doing something which we don't want, and automation is a thing. And I was like literally in favor of automation is a thing, and we've been doing. You talk about automation testing, you talk about RPA, it's all automation. But today, the parody is what is happening is AI is thinking and
hmm,
we are observing. So it's very much like the intelligent thing, the innovative thing is done by machines, and we are becoming literally a guards or a gatekeeper to those things. Did we really wanted it? Probably not, right? Probably not, because when the whole pitch started of AI, it was always then we'll be doing automation to it.
hmm,
But
hmm,
today it's been implemented in all the critical parts of a
hmm,
lot of application where I don't know if it will be easy for them to remove it. So these are the things which they definitely should think about. Having clear identity, use definitely cryptographic signatures where it can't be spoofed off. You can definitely find out if it is humans or AI. There are tools, and you have to use that if you're making a platform like this.
hmm,
And then continuous monitoring, continuous. Things are changing every second. So if you not have anomaly detection, if you don't have things like you're monitoring it, it will go out of your hands. So these are some of the recommendation I'll give, that please, please. And then lastly, whatever prompts are coming, make it hardened. So there is a technology called prompt hardening where you design system prompts and that explicitly instruct agents to ignore
hmm.
untrusted informations, so that they are not following information which is definitely manipulated
Yeah.
and was meant to breach things. So that's
Yeah.
me.
Thank you. Thank you, Neha, for sharing. That was amazing to have all of these inputs, and I'm sure it's been a lot of value to all of our viewers to understand how to keep themselves safe in this whole new world. And just to summarize, whether Moltbook becomes the next big thing or just remains the small footnote in AI history, it raises very important questions about how autonomous agents interact, not just with us, but with each other. And we are entering a world where all of these AI tools, they are participants in the digital ecosystem, and we have given them those rights. And this shift deserves our attention. And like you said, we always have to keep a security first mindset. That is super critical. That's what will keep us safe. So thank you, Neha, for joining us on the show and sharing your
Thank you.
insights.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.